welcome to Zimlink. I am Tino and I'm reporting from the Zimbabwe Embassy. I am here with the beautiful Nyarai. She'll just introduce herself and tell us who she's representing and more about the youth and Zimbabwe. Hi Nyarai.
Hi, thank you very much for having me.
Yes, break it down for us, please.
Basically, I represent two organizations based here in the UK. The first one being Mentoring Zimbabwe, which is also our founding members and our main branch is based in Zimbabwe. And I also represent Zim Youth Global Network, which is basically a platform that is increasing the participation of young people here in the UK towards nation building activities and programs happening in Zimbabwe.
Would you just give us a brief description of these activities and how we can get involved as the youth in the diaspora?
Well, basically, this year we're running a program called Erasmus Plus, which is funded by the EU. So we get about 45 to 50 young people between the ages of 18 to 30 based here in the UK. And if they have acquired a certain skill or they've got their own area of expertise, we'll be running educational and professional dialogue back in Zimbabwe with young people in Zimbabwe. So we're sort of like, right now, we're sort of like recruiting different people from various fields. It doesn't have to be, just like a 9-to-5 profession or like an office job. It can be anything. And we just want to sort of like exchange, that developed world experience with a third world experience. So we sort of like bridge the gap between, the sort of like educational and professional standards that young people in Zimbabwe are probably not exposed to. Yeah.
Do you have a particular age group that you're after, or is this open to anyone?
For mentoring Zimbabwe, we're doing a mentoring project in Zimbabwe, and we were mentoring. We got mentors from all over, not only in the UK. We got mentors in Japan, we got mentors in China, we got mentors in South Africa and America and Romania. That's the last one. Yeah, so it didn't matter what ages they are, because basically the mentoring project is all about, we have been teenagers before, we've experienced what they've experienced before, but we're in a sort of better position to help these kids, because some of those kids, like in Zimbabwe, don't have parents, they've lost their parents, or their parents are abroad, or they live with people who probably don't have a lot of they've not attained a higher education. So we sort of like now standing in the gap and trying to provide resources really that are available to us as people living abroad, and sort of like channel them back into Zimbabwe to help them. So we've been dealing with kids from the ages of 15 to 19, and here in the UK we normally deal with people from the ages of 18 to 30, because that's also the age group that is allowed to travel from here to Zimbabwe under the EU program.
Okay. Yeah. You've mentioned that it's about empowering the youth and leadership. Could you, how can I put it across? Could you just explain whether this will involve career guidance? Will you have people in certain careers assisting the children? Do we have lessons on culture? What is it about? Okay,
basically we are running, like I said, an educational and professional dialogue. It means that we take young kids in Zimbabwe on leadership and training, capacity building, and that's where we're also providing open days, because we got open days here in the UK, but there isn't anything set up in Zimbabwe. So basically, we're now actually asking different people, different agencies in different countries to go to Zimbabwe and talk about funding and how to get scholarships abroad. So we're sort of like providing the link between, say here in Europe, we now providing the link for them to sort of like access better education, to access scholarships or exchange programs, really, so that they can come over here and learn something different. So that's how we're doing it. Yeah.
And for those who want to get involved, be it the mentors or the young people, how do they get in touch with you?
Okay, basically, I'm just going to tell you about a project. We got this one project that we're running at the moment, and it's called Time for Tea. This project was specifically designed to target young Zimbabweans because over the years, the EU hasn't really been supporting, Zimbabwean activities. But then we spoke to one of our organizations, the organizations we work with here in the UK, and we said, Zimbabwe has at least a 60% population of people under the age of 40, and yet we're not being given enough resources to actually fund nation-building activities. So basically, they've come up with a Time for Tea project where we're asking any youth group, any youth organization, whether it's based here in the UK, America, wherever you are, we're actually asking them to come forward and participate because this is the only chance we get to send messages to the world leaders, to our local leaders, to our regional leaders, and actually, raise our voice on the concerns that we want. So we're running that project, and if you want to know more, you can visit mentoringzimbabwe.com, or you can email at information@mentoringzimbabwe.com, or you can also email us at zygn2020 at gmail.com. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and hopefully as ZimLink, we'll be working with you as we are trying to empower the youth as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Raised on the African soil. Reconnection, information, knowledge is inspiration. It's the moment.